Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome to today's video. We are 11 days out from the photo shoot today. So I'm going to take you guys through my day today. And today the topic is going to be kind of all about peak week. I want to go over that and explain to you how I'm going to go about attacking peak week, what it's going to consist of, what will it be, what will I even be doing, when does it start, all those kind of questions that people ask about peak week. Some of you might not even know what a peak week is, so I'll kind of explain that to you as well. It'll be a good one to learn. So I'm going to start the day off with my morning cardio. It's like 7:30 right now, so I've been out for a little bit. I just had a little bit of a protein rice cake snack, like 25 grams of protein in a rice cake. Get a little bit of protein in my body, and then I'm gonna knock on 45 minutes here, have breakfast, and then I'll see you guys in the next part. I don't know what that's gonna be, but I'll see you then. All right, so cardio's been all wrapped up. I showered, ate some breakfast, and now I'm gonna be doing my client work for the day. And I wanted to touch on the topic real quickly, and that is just like how I'm able to eat so much food right now. And one of the cool things I've noticed is, being that I'm giving myself refeeds quite often right now because my weight is at a spot that I'm happy for it to be, I just kind of want to maintain that. The more refeeds I've been giving myself, the more it kind of increases my energy levels. And obviously, if you have increased energy levels, you're going to be expending more calories, moving a lot more during the day, and that's raising my NEAT. So honestly, giving myself these refeed days, it's allowed me to be more active and just eat more food consistently, just because I'm not sitting around and feeling so sluggish. Like, just by eating more carbs, refueling my body frequently, I'm moving so much more, which is good because you can expend more calories. The more you're moving throughout the day, the more you're fidgeting, the more that non-exercise activity thermogenesis creeps up, the more calories you can consume. So no, I'm not saying put yourself in a surplus, eat a bunch of food, but once you get to a point into a diet where you're super sluggish, it might be interesting to see, after giving yourself refeeds every now and then, you might find that you get a lot of energy from your refeed days, and you are just more active. I just know I just feel a whole lot better mentally when I have my refeed days because I'm just not so sluggish or just like depleted. But yeah, I'm still being careful though, because you don't want to do too much refeed days, because ultimately you just lose your progress. So the big thing that I watch to dictate whether I give myself refeed days or not is just my weight. Like right now, I'm sitting in a spot where I don't want to be. Like, I've got 7 days now before peak week starts. I just want to keep my weight the exact same until peak week. So if my weight drops like a pound or two overnight and I want to get that weight back up, I might up my carbs a little bit the next day to get that weight back up to where I want it. And because of that, it's slowly allowed me to increase my calories. I'm consuming just under 2,800 calories right now, which is a lot for what I'm doing. Take in mind though, I do 45 minutes of cardio, 15 incline, 3 miles per hour the whole time, and train for like an hour and a half every day, which is a lot of activity. But besides the working out, those refeed days, I'm more active even when I'm not working out, which is a good thing. All right, guys, so if you haven't already seen my stories on Instagram, another big thing I'm doing right now that I'm done with college for the year is continuing my education this summer. Actually, I'm going to get more certifications for my personal training. So I'm already a certified PT or personal trainer, but this summer I'm going to also get a certification in nutrition. I'm going to get a certification in online coaching, and I'd like to do others. I don't know how realistic it's going to be to do more than like 2 certifications this summer, because they do take time and effort, obviously. It's not like it's just like a breeze for the most part. Like, I have to actually study and put work into them. But if I have time, I'd also like to get a strength and conditioning certification, as well as a bodybuilding certification. So just to really have that kind of on my resume, because yes, I may know a lot, but there is certainly still many things I can still be learning. And also, it always is very helpful to have certain certifications or degrees on your resume. So for people to make sure you're educated, it's very important. Like, you may know a lot, but if you don't have anything that really proves that you know a lot, you're not really going to get a whole lot of business, or people are really going to listen to you. So having that is very important. Another thing I'm going to be doing with my summer too is, obviously, once things start to open back up and we settle down a little bit, is I'm going to be coaching football, as well as helping out coaching football. So my old high school football coach reached out to me, and I actually have always wanted to coach football my entire life. So I figured, while I have more time this summer, I would spend time learning and working a lot with strength and conditioning style of coaching with the football team. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and it's a good networking opportunity for me, as well as learning and just working with other different types of people too. Because yes, my main focus is primarily body recomposition and bodybuilding style training, but don't forget that I grew up in an athletic-based environment where my main goal was to be able to perform, be functional. So it's still within my roots, and it's still what I'm passionate about as well. So I'm very excited to start coaching football a little bit as well. And it's not like I'm going to be a major football coach. I'm just like being like assistant coach to really help me out with whatever needs to get helped done. But nonetheless, it'll still be a good time. Anytime I get to be around football, it's like I'll never turn that opportunity down because it's so much fun. It was such a huge part of my life. So anytime I get an opportunity to give back or learn more about it or learn from it, I'm never going to pass that opportunity up. So I'm excited, man. But right now I'm just working on editing some YouTube videos because, yes, like it's so one of the hardest things that it's going to sound so stupid, but just with like how like depleted and everything I am, like it's literally hard to find energy to just put effort into YouTube. Like it's so easy for me just to kind of be really boring in front of the camera, but to actually like spice up my videos, consistently edit them and stuff like that, it's like there's just no energy or drive to do that right now. So I'm really forcing myself to do that. Because you're never going to know until you're in this depleted phase like I am. But that's what I'm doing right now. A little bit, I'm going to eat a pre-workout meal, and then probably just continue that before I train. I'm going to train here at like 2, train a push day. So in the meantime, eat a pre-workout meal, get some editing done, and then I'll show you guys my training session.
I ain't gonna curse or curse, yeah. I don't even curse, I'm cursing. This what black on a curse, yeah. These niggas singing they like, yeah. These niggas singing they curse. No, I know these stomachs on hurt. Dicks will be bust on their curse. Put that boy right in the shirt.
Bitch, yes, sir. Doing donuts in the sticks, yes, sir. You got engaged, but she still wanna slurp. She double tap my picture, she so flirty. Draco with the drum and it's dirty. Never crush, it's so thirsty. Come and get your bitch, she so thirsty. I'm finna pass her to the game, yes, sir. Little world, I'm probably, yes. New for the off, I'm probably, yeah. Come and fly, they drop it. Drop the police like it. Straight up, I see some khaki. I'm with how I'm posse. Block it hot like taco. I'm a dope boy, you a jacket. Now, you can't stop it. Fucking with quick, I'm got no. Bitch, don't speak, just follow me.
You can get yourself again. She wanna wrestle, I had time to drop on the game. Catch me inside, I had a gun, all I smoke, broke on the game. Ain't no 12 in the B12, I was smoke, starting around. That's the 12, I'm on well, when I'm fucked. Big on my own, it's on short, and I will, look at my car, and my blood, I'm got a car. I'm in jail, so they get splashed back. I'm gonna drop it on, I'm coming straight to the top of the rock. All these diamonds, that's sitting on my fucking neck, I'm like a bricks. And I'm winning, I be talking on that truck, don't make no sense. Hit $1 million nigga, but be posted in the face. It make no sense, yeah. It make no sense, it make no sense, yeah. Make no sense, yeah. Make no sense, yeah. Make no sense, it ain't wrong. Make no sense, yeah. It make no sense. I got hit, I go baby, I go baby, I go fancy, I go trouble like a motherfucker. Hey, you don't need to try this bottle another day, bro. I went too hard, so I give me that team. It don't make sense, I'm not alright, bitch, I'll put you on. I cut too much, I got that shit that make them too like down. Can't be in front of trust too much, the world no more. This shit ain't sweet, close to me, I see them hang like down. I know keep the money, still gon' be the one to slap. Like nigga, nigga. Sitting on my fucking neck, I'm like a bricks. Ain't no way that I be talking on that truck, don't make no sense. Hit $1 million nigga, but be posted in the face. It make no sense, yeah. It make no sense, it make no sense, yeah. Make no sense, yeah. Make no sense, yeah. Make no sense, it ain't wrong. Make no sense, yeah. It make no sense, man. Fucking trade, little bit, I been ain't cause you know the same. To the niggas, I said fuck. These other shit, they won't cancel, I never love. I flash a beat, nigga ass with this people. On TV, I can tell.
Getting these niggas be faking, I don't want they back so they hand ain't shaking. She on that 42 straight with no chasing. I'm trying to get out of here and go chase. Yeah, my diamonds be TVs. They don't wanna see see us on TV and listen to the news. I got something to prove. Yeah, I'm young, but got something to lose. In the street, I didn't pay all my dues. No instruction, they talking about lyrics. I be walking on beats, did you hear me? I just expected my kids to get big in me. They can't get rid of me. My dad don't be TV. They don't want to see us on TV and listen to the news. I got something to prove. Yeah, I'm young, but got something to lose. In the street, I didn't pay all my dues. No instruction, they talking about lyrics. I be walking on beats, did you hear me? I just expected my kids to get big in me. They can't get rid of me. Wake up every day, somebody harassing me. I got rich, they need money, they asking me. I was sick when they jail, they look out for me. Once we need me, no say once we without me. I been handling my own, they can vouch for me. She went down with me, know that she proud of me.
We got London on the track. You bad nigga, get the feeling and rushing and feel like a bus, but I'm moving a race. Got my head to the ceiling, want me in my feelings, only got me feeling away. I ain't saying I'm addicted, had her restricted on me cause I don't feel the pain. Let a nigga to my team, fuck it, nigga, kill him, fuck it, make it took me
I
away.
got my dogs in this bitch, I know they gon' shoot shit up. And my little brother turned to a drummer, walking outside, now he got the loan. I said that baby, where the gays at? Tell my brothers ball behind the scenes. All my niggas know, run up the numbers. Fuck, run up the numbers.
Run up the numbers, okay, see you don't want no thunder, the okay, see the baby you're fun, okay, see you don't want no thunder, yeah. Christian the sweater, okay, Christian Dior the sweater, the devil dog, yeah, look at my brother. When I put the booty on, nigga, further. I'm headed out to my prodigy, got some little homies, got some prodigy.
Yeah, spent 500 on a prodigy. Made out the product, popping on the seat. Try to get me stuck and top me on the seat. I made some cars, can't cop the fleet. Gotta be an advertiser, so get to the feds.
Alright guys, so my training session for the day is wrapped up. Had a good post-workout meal. Feeling pretty good for right now, honestly. And now it's time to talk about the main purpose of this video, which is about my upcoming peak week. So to clarify, right now I'm not on peak week. I'm exactly 7 days out from peak week. Peak week starts 4 days out from my shoot, which is in 7 days from now, next Tuesday. The shoot is on Saturday, so peak week starts officially on Tuesday. And just off the bat, if you're wondering, I'm modeling my peak week after Greg Doucette's peak week. So if you want to know more about what he does specifically, go look at Greg Doucette IFBB Pro on Instagram and YouTube. Super good, helpful content. Go check him out. But I'm modeling my peak week based on what his is. So what is peak week? Peak week is a few days before your show when you just fine tune the rough edges of your physique to prep you and get you looking your absolute possible best, completely shredded, ripped, full for your either bodybuilding competition, photo shoot, event, whatever it may be. It's to get you looking your absolute best. So to clarify, it's not to further your progress and lose another 10 pounds of fat. It is when you are already lean and already peeled, just to fine tune those edges. You should already be ready by the time peak week starts. Peak week is essentially just to reduce extra water, extra glycogen, fill muscles back up, and kind of get rid of that extra nonsense weight that you have on your body to fully reveal everything you've been dieting for. So how is this going to work for me? So until peak week starts, my diet stays the exact same. Still eating my protein, ice cream, my French toast, my pancakes, everything stays the exact same. Drinking 0-calorie beverages. But on Tuesday when peak week starts, that's when shit gets really, really, really boring. That's when I'm going to start following a diet that you see most traditional bodybuilders or people who don't know a lot about like macro-friendly recipes eat, like the boring chicken, veggies, stuff like that. So peak week, for the first 3 days, I'm depleting myself completely of glycogen, carbs, everything basically. So to do that, I essentially go keto for those 3 days. So I'm allowed to eat obviously proteins, fats, and minimal carbs. And the only carbs I'm going to be consuming are from very big voluminous foods that are very low in calories, such as things like spinach, lettuce, broccoli, even stuff like that. So you're going keto for a little bit. My calories aren't going to be too significantly low because I'm going to be consuming more fats. Because I've lost all the weight that I need to lose right now. Essentially, I just want to get rid of the extra water in my body and glycogen so I can refuel back up for the shoot. So that's why I'm going keto. And just by cutting out the carbs completely, it drops all that excess water and glycogen. You're trying to drain your body of the glycogen. So that's why I'm going keto for those 3 days. It's going to be hell. Also, during those 3 days, my water, I currently drink about 1.5 gallons per day right now. That water is going to be at least over 2 gallons per day, which helps flush everything out of my system. So I'm probably going to lose like
at least 5 pounds in just like water weight and glycogen through peak week, because you're going to be flushing everything out your system. And you're going to feel miserable, honestly. Like that's because you're taking your energy source away with carbs, like your main energy source. And yes, you can get energy from fats, but you're going to be so depleted. So you're going to feel like crap. So it's not easy by any means. So those 3 days, that's when I'm depleting. And the first of those 2 days, I'm going to allow myself really any kind of like 0 calorie sauce, like mustard, hot sauce, stuff like that. I can still drink my 0 calorie beverages like my sparkling ice, my Zevia, stuff like that. That's all cool. Then that third day of the depletion, I cut all those out. So everything is just completely plain, literally just water, and then my food. So my food that I'm consuming throughout peak depletions, it's just pretty much just meat, veggies, and eggs. I'm going to be consuming higher fat meats compared to like the super lean meats, just because I won't be getting any calories from carbs, so I don't want to be eating like 1,000 calories. If I cut carbs out, I'd literally be eating like just 1,000 calories. So I want to get some extra calories and to make sure I don't like die. So I want to be eating higher fat meats, more salmon, a little bit more fish. So maybe some tilapia. It's pretty low fat, but maybe tilapia, some ground beef again. Chicken breast is still good. I'm going to be using more avocado. I use a lot of avocado right now, but I'll continue to use avocado. More whole eggs instead of egg whites, just to get more calories, to keep my body just from not dying. Just keto, essentially, basically, for those 3 days. So that third day, cut all that fancy stuff out, literally just plain ass food and water, which is gonna suck. And then after that third day, after my dinner before I go to bed, I cut out water completely. So you're eating no carbs, and that way you're going to not retain any water. So you're chugging and chugging and chugging water. So that water is flushing straight through the system, flushing all the glycogen, flushing everything out, because there's nothing to hold on to it, which there would be carbs there normally, but now they're not there, so that it just flushes right through. So after that third day, we've depleted everything. I'll probably be down about 3 pounds, or at least 5 pounds by that third day. And right before I go to bed, I cut out water completely, because my body's already drained and depleted. So the fourth and final day of peak week is the carb up day. And that's when I'm gonna get really, that's when I'm gonna look crazy. Like, I'm gonna be so flat, feel super small. I already feel really small, but you're gonna feel like crazy small and just like flat and depleted, super ripped during those depletion days. But that fourth day is when stuff starts to get really crazy and you start to look crazy. And because the fourth day is the carb up day. We're not minimizing water to almost nothing because we cut it out the night before. So then we fuel up on a bunch of carbohydrates in that fourth day, and what that does, it completely depletes our muscles of glycogen from that depletion the 3 days prior. So now our muscles are empty, they are drained. So we have to fill them back up. And what happens after those previous 3 days of depleting is a super compensation effect. So your body is more adapted and primed to take in an overload of glycogen, an overload of carbs, and it can more efficiently store it and utilize more than it normally would. So we can eat a whole bunch of carbs, dry carbs in that carb up day, and fill the muscles back up. And you're gonna start looking like crazy. You're gonna feel like Superman, because your muscles are gonna be super vascular, striated, and lean, and they're gonna feel full all of a sudden because those carbs are reintroduced to your diet. And because we don't have water, because we cut water out the night before, we're not gonna have that watery physique look. We're not really gonna spill over a whole much. Yes, people say that water is important to sustain a successful peak week because it gives muscles a pump and everything like that. But here it is. For someone like me, you're gonna be much better off being leaner than you are being bigger. The bigger you are, the less ripped you're going to look. And for guys like me who already aren't that big in the first place, 6 foot, 160 pounds, that's nothing to brag about. So for me, I have to be as lean as I possibly can, because the leaner I am, ultimately the more crazier, the bigger I'm gonna look. So it's not in the cards for me to be 165 pounds fully carved up, because I just won't look as lean and look that good. So it makes no sense for me to not do a depletion phase and not get as lean as I possibly can, and do a longer carb up phase, where I'd much rather deplete, have a super compensation effect, and play it more safe, but be a lot leaner for when I step on that chute. So that fourth and final day, consuming dry carbs. You don't want to consume a bunch of like fibrous carbs, because all that fiber and everything is going to bottle up in your stomach, and it's going to take longer to digest. You're going to feel really bloated. You do not want to have a stomach full of food, or a full bloated stomach for your shoot or competition. That ultimately just makes you look worse. So you're essentially going to be eating junk food. When I say junk food, literally cereal, rice cakes, chocolate bars, junk food, like pure junk food, crackers, chips, things that are dry carbs that don't retain water, lots of sodium in them and stuff like that. It's going to fill those muscles up quickly. It's not going to fill you up too much. You're going to have a flat stomach and you're going to look crazy. So that's what that 4th day is. And I'll probably end up consuming around like 5,000 calories or so just from all that junk food. But because I'm so depleted and that super compensation effect, I'm going to look the craziest I've looked in my entire life, which is insane. So that's the 4th day, having carbs about every 2 to 3 hours or so, just kind of really going off how I'm looking. If I feel like I can take in more, I'll take in more. If I feel like I'm good, I'll kind of back it off slightly. I'm playing it a lot by ear, literally just taking a sip of water here and there, like basically nothing. 5th day, the 5th day, that's show day. So, or shoot day for me. So I'm all ready to go. I'm going to continue to carb up, kind of that same process I did the day before in the carb up day. Going to continue that until I step in front for that shoot. Every few hours, get some carbs in my system, get a good pre-show pump, and then I'll be ready to go for that shoot. So towards the second half of that 4th day and on show day, I'm going to be eating a lot more carbs that are more dense in sodium, just because you're so depleted in water, it's very easy to dehydrate yourself and you can cramp up very easily. So that's why you need to introduce sodium to your diet again. That's also going to help with you getting a pump, feeling and looking crazy. So literally just junk food, sodium, stuff like that, minimal water, and then obviously you're good to go for the show. So peak week, it's not supposed to be healthy. If you want to literally minimize protein. You don't want to be eating like the vegetables, the potatoes, the rice, the protein. If you're doing that, you are doing it wrong. That's going to bottle up in your stomach. You're going to look like crap if you load up on a bunch of protein before a show, because that takes a lot longer to digest and it bloats you potentially. So when I say junk food, it's not supposed to be healthy. It's a very unhealthy thing, prepping for a shoot or competing. But then again, there's lots of other things that are unhealthy, and we all do it for a certain reason, and we all know that when we get into it. So that's going to be my plan of attack for peak week. And yes, peak week is really, a lot of it is played by ear, but that's the general outline of what it's going to consist of for me. So I'm really, really excited. It's going to suck. So this next 7 days I have until then, I'm going to enjoy the foods I'm eating. It already sucks right now, but I'm going to continue to try and enjoy the foods I'm eating, and then embrace that suck even more for that peak week. And then after that, it's my shoot, and then the prep, it's all done, which is crazy to think. We're 11 days out right now. So yeah, guys, that's my plan for peak week. I'm going to end this video right here too. So like always, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.